GMetrix practice test number 2 for Adobe Photoshop. We're going to be taking a look at tasks 17 through 24 today, so let's get started. Task number 17, hide all the layers except the grass layer. Hiding a layer is going to mean that we don't see it when we're looking at our document, or rather, it does not visibly appear in our document. To change this, we're going to click on this eyeball icon next to both the Kingfisher layer and the Kingfisher layer that is text. So the two different Kingfisher layers, there are two of them. We'll turn off the eyeball on both of those so we only see the grass, and go ahead and select next. And we are correct. Task number 18, flip the mountains image horizontally. So we'll go ahead to our mountains layer, click on mountains to make sure it is selected. We'll go up to edit at the top, go down to transform, and we're going to go to flip horizontally, flip horizontal. And that's going to flip our image around. So here is the before, here is the after. It's just flipping it around. We'll go ahead and select next. We are correct. Task number 19, export only the logo layer as a PNG file. Name the image Apple logo, accept all other default settings. First thing that stands out in my mind here is that we have a name that we need to copy. So we'll hold down the left click and select our text here so it lights up blue. And we'll use Control-C in order to copy that text. So Control-C is the magic shortcut here. We're going to right-click on our logo layer and go to Export As. Now here we need to change our format from JPEG, JPG to PNG, and then we're going to go to Export at the bottom here. Now it's important that we change the name of our file here, so we're going to go ahead and hit Control-V. And we want to pay attention to where this is asking us to save. Now, we have had some problems with these types of questions in the past, so it might work, it might not. We'll have to see. We're going to go to Documents on the left, go to GMetrix Templates, Photoshop CC Lita, and then we're going to go ahead and select Save. But again, make sure that you've copied it and pasted that Apple logo right into your file name. We'll hit Save, and then we're going to go ahead and select Next. And we are correct. Create a new layer group named Icons and move both of the icon layers into the group. So to create a new layer group, we're going to click on this folder icon at the bottom of our layers panel. We'll double click on where it says Group 1, type in Icons, and again, being very careful on our capitalization and spelling here. That's going to create a new group with nothing in it. It tells us to move both of the icon layers into the group. So we'll go down to this tent icon, and this tree icon is what we're looking for. And I always like to kind of keep these all together. So I'm going to move my icons group right above our tent icon in order to keep everything organized. We'll click and drag this tent icon into icons. Then we'll click and drag this tree icon right underneath tent icon. And you'll know you've done it correctly if you see this checker box that is offset from the folder icons. You'll see that these are not in line with everything else. That means they are contained inside this group. We're going to go ahead and select Next. And we are correct. We'll hit Next again. Task number 21, use the lasso tool and content aware fill command to remove the person from the cliff on the background layer. So we're going to try to see if we can get this guy out of here, or gal. I can't really tell from this distance. In order to activate our lasso tool, we can use the keyboard shortcut L in order to activate our lasso. Or we can do it the old-fashioned way, hold down on the spot, number 3, on our toolbar here, and we can click on lasso tool. But we do need to make sure we're on the lasso tool and not any of the other lasso tools here. Not the polygonal, not the magnetic, but just the regular freeform lasso tool. We're going to use that in order to circle around our person here. And if we don't like our selection the first time around, that's okay. We can hit Control-D in order to remove our selection and try again. So we'll try that one more time. I want this to be just a little bit farther away from our person this time. We don't want it to be a super, super tight fit here. So we've made our selection around here. And then we're going to use Content Aware Fill to get rid of our person. To do this, we're going to hold down Control on our keyboard and press, We're going to hold down Shift on our keyboard and press backspace, not Control backspace, but Shift backspace, and that is going to give us this option for Content Aware Fill. Where it says contents here, we're just going to make sure that it says content aware. And we're going to go ahead and select OK. And you'll see that it, just like magic, our person has disappeared and it's done its best to fill in the rocks around it as well. We're going to go ahead and select next. I think that's pretty cool, honestly. Technology wows me sometimes. We'll go ahead and hit next again. Task number 22, edit the text so that the word renovation is on the next line, and then change the font to Times New Roman. Center align the text and change the font size to 48 points. There's a lot of parts to this question, so we'll have to go step by step here. First, it tells us edit the text so that the word renovation is on the next line. To edit our text, we'll double click on this T icon. That's going to light up our words here. We're going to click on where it says, or right before the capital R in renovation, and then we're going to go ahead and press enter, and that's going to move our renovation word onto the next line. Next, we need to change the font to Times New Roman. So we're going to, again, double click on our T here to select all the text, and to change our font, we're going to go to where it says Arial at the top. This is where all our fonts are. We'll click on this drop down, and yours might say a different word other than Arial, just a heads up. And we're going to go on down to Times New Roman. So this is alphabetical. There are quite a lot of options. Now, if there's a lot of options, there's got to be a faster way, right? Well, you'd be right. We're going to type in Times, T-I-M-E-S, right here in the search, and you'll see that all of these come up in our options, and it makes it really quick and easy to find the right option. We're going to click on Times New Roman Regular, and then we need to change the font size to 48 points. We'll double click on this number right next to these T's. We're going to type in 48 and press enter on our keyboard. You'll see that that has increased the size of our words. Lastly, we need to center align the text. So to do this, we're going to click on this icon right here that says center text, and that is going to center align the text for us. Now, hopefully we've completed every step here. We're going to go ahead and find out, stumbling over my words a little bit. We'll click on next. And once again, I've forgotten my check mark. We'll go up to the check mark and click on that, and then we'll press next to check our answer. Looks like we are correct. Hooray. We'll hit next again. Task number 23, select the status bar, or rather select the status bar. Looks like we might need to proofread our questions a little bit here at GMetrix. So our status bar is going to be, I believe, the bar at the bottom here actually. We'll go ahead and try that and see if that's the correct option, but this contains important information. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here about our document. So this is something to keep an eye on, especially if you're saving a project. You can see the progress of your save bar down there at the bottom. Hopefully that's the right one. I'm not 100% sure on this, but we'll find out. We're going to hit next. And that is, in fact, the status bar. Look at us go. Cruising right along onto task number 24, the last one in the set. Change the document color mode to CMYK so it can be printed. Don't merge the layers. So CMYK is a color space, as it suggests in this question here, that is used for actually printing out your work. Normally when we're developing stuff for web or internet or computers, we're going to use RGB color space, but CMYK is going to change our colors just a little bit so it prints just a little bit better. To change that, we'll go to the option up here up the top for image. I believe is the one we're looking for. Yep, image, exactly. We'll go to image and then mode. We're going to go on down to CMYK color and click on that. It's going to say changing modes can affect the appearance of layers. Merge layers before mode change. Well, right here in the question, it tells us don't merge the layers. Look out. So we're going to say don't merge. We're going to go ahead and select OK. And then we're going to go ahead and select next. So it is very important that we take the time to read every component of that question. If we had merged those layers, this would be marked incorrect, even though we knew what we were doing. We're going to go ahead and select next, and that is going to finish questions 16 through 24 and finish up this session. As always, make sure you screenshot your work by clicking on summary at the bottom and using Windows F10 to take a screenshot of your questions. Again, we're looking at questions 17 through 24 for the set. Get that screenshot, or rather 2 screenshots, turned in on Google Classroom showing me you've answered all those questions, and I'll see you all back in class. Bye now.